Okay, it says we're live and we're offline. So, welcome back to part 2, attempt 3, something like that, on the Lost Begotten 11Z's broadcast. Ha!
Yoo-hoo! Brother Maximo is hearing and seeing something again. That's always a good sign.
Okay. How many fingers am I holding up? Oh, for fuck's sake. So in the comments, YouTube app just crashed. Says one of our viewers, their YouTube app just crashed. Seemed to be blocking lots of his chat too. YouTube hates us. Nothing seems to be working. The chat, the stream. Just makes me more interested in what the Lost Begotten is saying. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Y'all beautiful people. New Cadillac. Sorry. I had an Elvis moment. They come and they go. It's like Tourette's, but with big collars.
I was getting ready to say, we can't even afford a brand new Cadillac. About.
New Cadillac. Okay,
I don't want a Cadillac.
Old Cadillac. Yeah. Pink Cadillac? I would totally fucking rock a pink Cadillac.
Make it purple and you got me. I'm sold with purple.
I'd drive that bitch right up a tree with a fucking 40 in my hand.
Sean says it's not the first time the YouTube app has crashed today.
Okay. So...
yeah, earlier a helicopter flew by.
YouTube does not like the whole association between Trump and Putin to begin with. Okay. And they definitely don't like the whole association between Russia and terrorism. I have screenshots of just about every single video I've posted, and that's probably about 150 videos, specifically on the subject of how Russia connects to international Islamic extremism. Okay? And at least 50 videos on how they were behind the Islamic State's deployment in response to the downing of MH17 over Ukraine. They took Mosul, quick a diversion. They don't like that shit being talked about. That's why my channel gets suppressed. Okay? That's why they had an algorithm rigged up to this shit to where every time I would post a video, 3 more fucking subscribers would just automatically drop the moment I posted it.
Yeah, see, I'm not the only one that likes purple Cadillacs.
If you're going to bother with a different color, why not bother with a different car? That's all I'm saying. So, welcome back to the Lost Begotten live broadcast. We're doing part 2, attempt number 3 of the Trump equals Russia equals terrorism. So, if Trump pals around with Russia, and Russia fucking supplies terrorists, okay, and was behind a lot of different things that we don't think they were behind, like 9/11 and the whole flat earth conspiracy movement. Doesn't that mean that Trump, ipso facto, pals around with terrorists? Yeah. Russia supports terrorism. Russia supports Trump. Trump supports terrorism. He sure as fuck seems to like to provoke it.
Yes.
Yes, purple Honda. There you go.
I want a purple Prelude.
Purple Prelude.
Almost bought one.
Can't really get much sweeter than that. Fucking purple Prelude.
I almost bought a purple Prelude once.
Yeah. We'll have to do that again one day.
What, almost buy a purple Prelude or actually buy a purple Prelude?
We're getting sidetracked here. This is not a car video, for once. But we still ended up talking about fucking Cadillacs and Hondas, didn't we? Anyway, so, moving on.
You started it.
What we do want to talk about is who's behind the Flat Earth movement? Who's responsible? Who's to blame? Who's to blame? Is it our government that's been behind the Flat Earth thing all along? Is it our government that had superior rocket technology? Did our government launch the first satellite? Did our government have the first person orbiting? No, we just had the first movie about a moon landing. That's all we fucking did. So clearly there's an imbalance of activity. There's an imbalance of initiative. So therefore there should be an imbalance of responsibility. And one would think that the people who can be traced to as having in every other arena, in every other respect, a lust for taunting people with what they know that you don't know. Okay? That's the Soviet Union for you. That's the FSB KGB for you. That's Satanists of Nod. That's Khazarians for you. In general, that's how they are. They like to taunt you that they know the earth is flat. And that we're just a big fucking game to them. Like a roulette wheel. Like a certain group of Russian paid shills promoted. You know, all those people who wanted to also, you know, just coincidentally tell you that, oh, Gog and Magog aren't Russia. Yeah, those people. Big golden sun in the middle. Yeah. You know what sun that is, though, right? That's the old Saturnite sun. Okay, those are death worshippers. They worship Gabriel because they misunderstand him. But what they actually worship is Mars pretending to be Gabriel. And that's what that sun actually knowingly represents. The imagery illustrated on that sun is a point that was hypothesized at which a central sun was obscured by the planet Mars. And if you've looked at the electric universe theory, okay, they start with that old central sun model and how Mars or Hercules was the resistor of it, and they have documented all the different wavy forms of the sun that kind of look like that, and they decided through that theory that that was what caused mankind to write those images down or depict that image.
Nimrod.
Nimrod, that's hidden from me for what seems like very specific reasons. I don't know. I guess the time isn't ready for that to be revealed. But I think I was involved there in a way that would be at this point very hard to explain. And to do so would more than likely be used against me more than it would do me any good. So, yeah.
You know, it's funny. I always see this picture, and in the U.S., for women, sometimes the birth control pills come in like a little round thing like that, and so every time this image pops up, I think it's a birth control thing until I look close and see the people.
Well, coincidentally enough, what they're probably talking about is population control. If there is a new world order, okay, if there is some fascist elite who wants to implement some form of totalitarian population control, where would you find such people? Well, there's this principle that I think has been proven right on numerous occasions, especially concerning the whole Donald Trump thing. The voice of the accuser. Okay, so who's paying all these different people like Alex Jones to accuse Westerners of such a plan? Well, they're probably the ones who have such a plan. Because the best way that they know, and this is consistent for every fucking annoying bullshit cowardice thing that they fucking do, they always have a cover story that involves accusing other people of what they are doing. And by doing so, they make it impossible for A, their victims, or B, a third party, to think. Okay? They make it impossible for Google to work.
Remember, when you point the finger at me, there are 3 more pointing back at you. What are you?
There was just a reflection on your hair. I thought there was like something in your hair. It was just a bright spot.
I got birds living in my hair.
I think it was an orb. It was a fractal orb on your hair.
It was Mom.
A fractal her orb. Her orb.
It was Mom.
The her.
The her.
The her. It's Mom. Yeah, I heard you.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you do. It's on video. It's recorded. Repeating yourself 3 times. I'm right here.
Bite your face.
Okay, so anyways. You think maybe that looks a little more taunting than, say, the United Nations?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many people in the United Nations do you think are really in on it? Okay.
They change out members too much.
There's no consistent membership. There's a bunch of little fucking countries that are meaningless, and they're allowed to go and be in this club, right? But what the UN has been used for is trying to make peace with the Horde, okay, with Russia. Primarily designed to make peace with Russia, to keep them from conquering more shit. Okay? By allowing them power of veto, which they have abused over the years, to cover their own asses, to further their own cause, and to just take fucking other people's countries from them. Yeah.
Want me to give you an example?
Sure.
Yugoslavia.
Yeah. Yugoslavia. Primary example of how the UN is just basically incompetent and kept as such by the members who would rather it not exist. Which is why, again, in lockstep with the consistent agenda of the Shilliverse that is paid by Russia, okay, they all oppose the Federal Reserve, they all oppose capitalism, they all oppose the UN. Okay, it's all they have this concerted effort, and everything points right back to the same fucking places from the same place. And it's consistent when analyzed, okay? You don't find any aberrations to the rule. And when you do find something that appears as an aberration, it turns out to be an intentional deception coming through the same types of fucking people that always spread the same types of fucking messages.
Oh yeah, and the whole point to the war in Yugoslavia was so that the Muslim Albanians could, come and take more land. That was what the whole thing was.
I flipped by my coffee.
You stole my coffee. Went to go get a sip earlier, and my coffee cup is like empty.
I just took half of what was in there.
But yeah, so like now the country I came from is 7 separate countries. Also, the Muslims could invade and get their own territory.
Right.
That was essentially what it was.
And did Russia do anything to stop that part of it?
No. No, but they sure did a hell of a job setting Milosevic up to take the fall for it all.
Oh yeah. Gotta have your patsy. Always gotta have your patsy.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Milosevic wasn't
Get ready, Donald Trump, you're going to jail.
And then you'll have a heart attack in jail.
Mm-hmm. So no one will ever know how much you
don't get me wrong.
Betrayed your country.
Don't get me wrong, Milosevic was a little corrupt, but for the shit that he went down for was not his backing.
Fucking 8 more days. And you've been punked. April Fool's, motherfucker. You ain't the president.
Shit.
That would be...
Y'all would see me doing...
That would just be so fucking funny.
Y'all would see me doing backflips, and I ain't done one of those in at least 20 years.
This is the scene that it's just a fantasy. I know I'm not making a prediction, okay? But, I can have dreams too, can't I? Okay, my dream is that on April Fool's, there's going to be a news conference in front of a joint session of Congress. Okay? But there's going to be about 40 of them missing. Okay? And it's going to be John McCain and Lindsey Graham and Chuck Schumer and Ashton Kutcher. You've been pumped. Ain't that a bitch?
Pedro is asking if people in Europe are more aware of the reality, or are they more aware of Putin's real intentions? That would depend entirely on the European country at hand. The further east you go, the less, I guess you would say, the less aware they are, because Russia's had such control over them for so long.
No, they're actually becoming more aware than they used to, if anything, because of the Ukraine conflict.
Well, with the Ukraine conflict, but a lot of the countries that are still like Soviet.
In the middle is where it's really ambiguous, like Moldova and Romania.
Lithuania.
And, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Lithuania is, like, again, learned from necessity that the West is valuable. The countries that are all on the front line are all in complete agreement. Most of the people there that aren't, you know, basically considered the pro-Russians, the majority of the country is on the same page as I am, basically.
But you also have to take a look at the countries that Putin has his fingers in.
Right, but that's further over, like Moldova.
They're being fed the Russian propaganda,
Greece.
So that's all they know is what Russia's telling them. You know, that's the reason I tend to ask so many questions, because so many of our viewers are from out of the United States. I like to know how much news actually gets out of here and shows up, you know, in Europe and Asia and all the other places where everybody is.
But one thing I'm thankful for and feel validated by is something that my longtime subscribers also feel validated by. This whole thing about Russia that I've been trying to reach out to the other Flat Earth channels to cover in some way, to help me investigate in some way. It's finally being covered by the Senate.
I learned something new.
By, you know, Rachel Maddow, Keith Olbermann, and CBS and NBC, and even to a certain extent, Fox News. You saw it all here first on the Lost Begotten channel with the crazy Jesus guy on YouTube.
Are they aware of Kadyrov and his people? Aware of them, yes. The truth about them, no.
Who? Really, by and large, the Kadyrov story has not broken yet. I'm still hammering away at that. Okay, I'm still trying to get people. That's why I keep bringing it up in here. In fact, it's coming. We're gonna go through that again.
But I learned something new.
Okay.
April Fool's is the Dutch independence from the Spanish crown. I did not know that.
Okay, that's a little bit off topic. A little bit off topic.
No, you brought up April Fool's Day.
Anyways, jeez.
He loves me.
So, you know, all the Shilliverse channels, Alex Jones, Flat Earth channels, all them fucking channels, they all say the UN is where the elite meet to discuss how they're gonna, you know, control all of you, right? Does that look like the fucking UN to you? That's Kazakhstan, buddy. That's Khazaria. That is the land of Nod. Upper Meso-Persia. Where Nimrod was from, actually.
Spanish police aware of Russian mafia. It's good everybody needs to be aware of the Russian mafia. They're everywhere. Spanish judge was linked to Russian mafia. Putin. Huh? Well, of course, it's the new KGB.
Right.
That's all it is. And, you know, they changed the name to the FSB, and then Putin just recently reinstated the KGB.
Well, he changed the laws, basically giving the FSB the same powers as the KGB. And they said they were going to call it the KGB for a while, and then, like, people started saying, aha, and they were like, oh, no, we didn't mean KGB. We meant still FSB. You're an idiot for thinking it's KGB. Yeah. Anyways. So, as you can see, that's the cardinal of some fucking place, and a Kazakh Muslim, a Saudi, or no, I would think maybe Iranian Muslim, Catholic and some funny hat wearing Jews, and they're all meeting up there in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan does whatever Kazakhstan can. But, you know, that can't have anything to do with supporting terrorism, because Putin told you that Islamic State was selling oil through Turkey because they had all these videos and photographic images that showed for certain oil from, you know, the sky. What happened was they dropped a bunch of bombs, and there were a bunch of people, and they said, we don't like bombs being dropped on us, so they left. And when a bunch of people leave, usually the first people to go are the truckers, because the truckers are, guess what, already in their fucking trucks. Oh, fuck's sake. So, Russian intelligence got a bunch of photos of a bunch of trucks on the border of Turkey and said, there's oil in them there trucks. Now, here's a little story about a man named Trump. Poor fucking rich guy who liked to piss and hump.
Speaking of Turkey, did you hear that they threatened Germany?
There you go. Let me finish all this crap. You can tell me about Germany threatening Turkey, or Turkey threatening jerky. Germany threatened jerky. Something like that. So, you know, conveniently, every terrorist attack, just about every single fucking terrorist attack in modern history has helped the Soviet Union, has helped Vladimir Putin. Every single one. Because when an independent voice like Charlie Hebdo starts linking terrorism to Russia, to online conspiracy, anti-Illuminati theories, how convenient that such a thorough execution should be, you know, carried out against them. Je suis. I am. Jesus. Gaelic. The root language of French. One of them, anyway. But, you know, those Alex Jones channels didn't tell you about it, so it can't be true because he's the leader of the rebellion against the fascist Illuminati elites, and the globalists are taking over. He didn't tell you about this asshole, though. He didn't tell you about this fucking psychopath right here. I mean, this guy is really off his rocker. Somebody in the capital down there in Grozny, I believe, just like said some questionable things about him in a newspaper story, and he has a TV show. He has his own little Trump TV. He forced this journalist to come on his television show and apologize to him. Wonder what kind of threats were made so that she would comply. And I've said it on previous videos, I'll go ahead and say it again. This is Vladimir Putin's boy. They had a big psychological operation in which they went to war with each other. But you know, the real fucking sick, powerful sociopaths in the world, they don't consider the value, the lives of their men to be of any value. Okay? You're talking about somebody who has so much power that he'll get bored, divide his own army, and have it go against itself in war. Just for good exercises, just for good research, just to see if the West even has a clue. And they confirmed that we didn't. And they proceeded accordingly. See, after all these guys chanted 3 times their allegiance to Putin, they then chanted 3 times something about an ark barn made of aluminum. Aluminum ark barn? Aluminum ark barn?
Is that supposed to protect the aliens from reading their minds?
They chanted that out after swearing allegiance to Putin. And then, you know, they were supposed to go deploy into Ukraine. Actually, that's what he said to the cameras, was that these men are all going to Ukraine to invade Kiev and stop the fascists and kick the Americans out. Blah, 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 blah,
yeah, the American CIA agents that started everything.
Yeah, all fucking 2 billion of them, or 2 million of them that were on the square my name.
Right.
Yeah. Well, shortly after this, the Islamic State just got some gumption to it. I guess they were just inspired by their praise of aluminum. Wait, no, that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. I guess they were reinforced by them. Okay. And what happened is this battalion of men got deployed right before MH17 was shot down over Ukraine. And then right after, within 48 hours, Mosul fell. And suddenly Islamic State was an embarrassment to Obama because he called them the varsity team. You know, how dare he not know that Kadyrov was going to deploy those troops to reinforce them? That's them right there. That's the same video, different pausing point. That's the camera crew that's walking and filming with Kadyrov is walking down this row of troops. There they are. And I could do a whole episode just on the different still photos I've taken from various videos of the Islamic State advancing in Syria. And what it looks like is these guys. They're all in uniforms. They all have body armor. They all have those same RPGs, uniform weaponry, uniform knee padding, all that kind of shit. And they all use standard Russian military tactics. Okay? And there they are right there, lined up behind an Islamic State T45 maybe, T42, T43 maybe, something like that. Islamic State Russian tank with Islamic State Russian Chechens behind it. And you know, our CIA took out the leader of that particular region of Al-Qaeda, and he was known as Omar the Chechen. He spoke Russian. I got photos of him too. I posted them before. But I think this is the best single photo. I mean, you got the Islamic State flag right there. Okay, that's the Islamic State fucking flag. And those are Kadyrov's boys, mixed with some, you know, local mercenaries they find. And what they do is they simply go into these areas and they change clothes a little bit at a time. So what you'll see is the same uniform with, you know, somebody's got a different this thing, somebody's got a different that thing. Jacket, a different shirt, different pants. But all in all, they look similarly equipped and they act professionally. Not people who are radicalized online and just made their way out there. Okay? That's fucking ridiculous. And here's one that you didn't even know about. Here's one that I'm sure you've never even heard of. Before the Thai king died, the last king of the pagan tribe, this guy, in an attack related to covering up a human trafficking ring, This guy was arrested for having, planted a big fucking bomb in a marketplace in Bangkok, Thailand. Where does he look like he's from to you, dear? If you just had to guess.
Definitely Russia.
Yeah.
Chechnya, I'd say.
Yeah, somewhere between Hungary and Chechnya.
Grozny.
Like he could be Hungarian. Could be. Could be Serbian. Could be.
The nose isn't right.
Okay. Yeah, the nose isn't right.
Trust me, I know.
Very, very Russian. Nose, cheekbones, and oddly enough, he's got that regular military haircut, doesn't he? Very interesting. So, we saw the one story on that, never heard another thing about it. Nobody knows why this European white guy blew up a marketplace in Bangkok.
Except that they think it's related to human trafficking.
Oh yeah, human trafficking. Because
actually
Russia has nothing to do with human trafficking.
Not at all.
They're central to it in every way and have been for the past 2,000 years. Okay, they are this kingdom of the north that comes down every 100 years and just fucking takes. They just take land, people, whatever. People especially. They take slaves. They trade slaves in between all these times. They have proxy nations in which they use the slave trains that they conquer other nations to keep their slave trade going. They've always done this. And while all these Shilliverse channels were trying to turn you against your own government, while you were keeping it completely out of your mind that there's a possibility that, not all the rich elites get along. There is East versus West. All the governments in the world are not in cahoots on fucking anything, okay? Not aliens, not flat Earth. Get over yourselves. These people don't fucking like each other on a very basic level. As in, all of them want all of us dead. Okay? Fucking dead. They want us gone. Okay? And you're drinking their Kool-Aid. Meanwhile, they were invading Ukraine. They had already invaded Georgia. And reinvigorated North Korea's weapons program. Just another group of terrorists that Russia supplies. Donald Trump doesn't just pal around with terrorists. He's complicit and collusive. He aids and abets terrorists and traitors alike. He has committed an organized coup against this government, against this nation, and its people. He has used psychological weapons of warfare against his very supporters, and his very supporters should be the most pissed off about it. Because making America great again doesn't mean bowing to fucking Russia. Donald Trump never told you Putin built a giant fucking mosque in Moscow, did he? Because that's the way any, proud Western leader, proud free democratic Christian would react to the terrorist attacks in his country. He had some Chechen terrorist attack there. Then we had some Chechen terrorist attack here. Then he starts invading countries with a bunch of Chechens. And these are all Muslims. All these Chechens are Muslims. Okay? All of them. They're Muslims.
Yeah,
they really like aluminum and arcs and barns.
You go out that way, and there's only two religions: Muslims and Orthodox.
Right.
That's it.
And you go past the Orthodox, and all there is Muslims. The Orthodox is just a wall of bullshit set up for Europe to look at. So you don't realize how many fucking Muslims there are in Russia, in the Horde, in all of the different Horde Soviet Union former states. But while, like I was saying, while there's been multiple terrorist attacks in Russia, Chechens attacked Boston, and they went to war with Chechnya supposedly, and then right before the election there was this bullshit story about Putin and Kadyrov having a beef, right? Bunch of garbage. They're best friends again, now. Donald Trump, Alex Jones, all them people, not one time did they point out or question that. Could you imagine if Barack Obama built a mosque that looked like that? Like personally. He personally financed this shit. Putin did. Okay? Imagine if Barack Obama
he'd have been lynched.
Personally financed a mosque. Imagine if George Bush allowed a mosque like that to be built in New York after 9/11.
They'd have been shot.
The whole city would be on fucking fire. Like, there'd just be like it just couldn't even fucking happen. Nobody would even conceive of it. It'd just be ridiculous. But, subscribe to their channels and think you're getting the real information. And keep mine suppressed. That's just naturally happening. People were just, they prefer to be bullshitted over somebody who can clearly demonstrate how they've been bullshitted and why. And make everything seem clearer than it ever has to them before. Okay? Clearly that's just the choice that people are making. They'd rather be a bunch of dumb sheep being herded towards the slaughter. Or there's Russian hacking. Yeah, I think there's Russian hacking. And YouTube has been complicit in stealing millions of dollars from American news companies, and has basically cost me, I don't know if you want to put a price on the labor, per hour that I spend on these videos. So I spend an hour and a half just fucking trying to fight their hacking, which is costing me additional time just making the preparation for this video. And now I'm spending 2 hours making the video. Like the smallest shit I fucking made was $17.50 an hour. So YouTube, you want to pay me $17.50 an hour for all the bullshit that you've caused me? All the revenue that your shillery has stolen. Okay, they steal it. They don't just suppress it. They take it away. Okay? The views that I do get taken away. There's no way CBS News gets a couple hundred views in 24 hours. It's fucking CBS News.
It's one of the biggest news stations in the United States. I mean...
And we're really bullshitted to the point to where it actually makes sense that PewDiePie gets all the views that he claims to get, and CBS News is capped at like 1,200 per day. Keith Olbermann got 1 million subscribers in no time flat. Has had the same view amounts on his videos.
Because he's part of the
No
resistance.
matter how many more subscribers he gets, same view amounts on his videos. MSNBC, Rachel Maddow. Rachel Maddow, now the highest rated anchor in all the fucking news business. Have the totals on her view counts on her MSNBC uploads changed? No, they have not. They still linger right around 20 and 30,000. This is an active effort of suppression of truth. An active effort to herd you to the slaughter. And if you don't want to continue to be herded, this is the channel to subscribe to. All these other fucking people are misleading you. They're not talking about important shit. They're not talking about who the most likely Satanists, who the most likely people are that want you all dead actually are. You'd think that at least in the flat earth community, they would have had more of a discussion about magnetic north and where that pole seems to be moving to, which is right here in Kazakhstan. Anybody who tells you in the scientific community, outside of the conspiracy community, where is the pole shifting towards? Well, right now it's moving towards Kazakhstan. Right there. But they just ignore the problems. Every problem that comes up in the real world, every problem that could give you a clue about Russia, about these fucking sick fucks with their gold worship. I mean, they just like to put gold on everything. They just want just a golden shower everywhere. I mean, wait.
Ew.
Yeah. But anytime they say shoot 150 protesters, all these shill channels want to blame the CIA for that somehow.
It's always the CIA.
Because there was this one guy who nobody really knew about in this one fucking room of this one apartment in the building back there. And they have him on video as having taken 3 shots, 2 of which obviously just ricocheted off the ground. But he, not the people who are on video fucking shooting the people, he did it. Because of the CIA and the Illuminati and the globalists, and I have no fucking neck and my name is Alex Jones.
And I had a heart attack. Meh. Yeah, I don't do impressions.
See, I warned you on this channel over a year ago, about 2 years ago, that this was going to happen to us, that we would be Poroshenko. We would be strangers in our own countries. When these fascists take over your country, wherever you are, you're going to be just like those people in Ukraine who waved their own flags and got the shit beat out of them for it.
Oh, I'd like to see a motherfucker try. Give me a good reason. Please.
It seemed almost like it was going to happen here, but people finally started listening to me about Trump and Russia.
Okay, so can I just put the brakes on that right there? Ever since Trump got elected, you got Trump supporters that are going and beating up Democrats. You got Democrats that are going and kicking Trump supporters' asses. I mean, Russia has done what it is that they wanted to do. They divided us.
Oh yeah.
And we're talking
sure.
now you got the state of Texas doing shit requiring a birth certificate to go to the bathroom. If you're transgendered, you have to go to the bathroom based on your birth certificate. So does that mean
and all these fucking Republicans, okay, are just as much Russian shills as Bernie Sanders and the fucking communists. Okay? It's divide and conquer. It's not support one side and hope they win.
No, it's divide and
conquer.
conquer.
It's you support this side against the establishment. You support the other side also against the establishment. And you make sure that they make everybody in the country equally fucking hate each other. That's what divide and conquer does. That's what it always does. That's basic history 101, boys and girls.
We've had 3 transgenders in Louisiana and New Orleans killed recently, just in the past month. And this stuff, I mean, it happened, but not to this degree before Trump was elected. Before he was put in office, let's put it that way.
Installed.
Yeah, there you go, installed. But I mean, yeah, we had murders, we had, the problems that every other country has, but it has seriously, in the last 2 months, gone completely out of control.
Donald Trump was installed like a fucking Saudi Arabian copy of Windows 95. Okay? Shit ain't gonna perform too well, and it's gonna crash in no time.
That's right.
And that is about the oldest, most non-funny geek joke I could possibly make. Anyway. So, in this country, as I warned, being a patriot has become a taboo. Okay? I'm not talking about the oppression of minorities. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. Okay? That's a given. That's gonna fucking happen anytime assholes take office. Alright? And when you get the most asshole-ish fucking asshole of them all, inevitable circumstance. Okay, but that doesn't prove anything. It just proved Donald Trump's a fucking irresponsible asshole.
It's a moron.
But what proves the collusion between the Republican Party and Trump and Russia and terrorism is the fact that they have made it literally, according to Republicanism, a taboo to be a patriot. Okay? If you're concerned about Trump's collusion with Russia, okay, you're automatically labeled as a fucking liberal. What the fuck is that? Really?
I know lots of Republicans that are against Trump.
Right?
They'll punch you in the face for calling him a fucking liberal, though.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Now, I don't get that offended just by, because I have some liberal ideals. I'm a centrist, I mean, anybody who's all the way on one side or the other is just being fucking herded. And, they should realize that. But, like, when somebody calls me a liberal, I still get pissed off about it because I'm not all the way on the left. And when somebody says something out of pure ignorance like that and is basically attacking me vis-a-vis their programming just to accuse me of not being a patriot. Just because I'm being a fucking patriot, they're attacking me. Being concerned about my country's integrity.
I thought being a patriot was standing up for what this country was founded on, the principles in which this country was founded on.
Right, and
freedom.
But we can disagree on principles. We can have a political discussion. But when the fucking foreign country who has threatened to wipe us off the fucking face of the earth in recent years, okay, just 2 years ago they were threatening to wipe us off the fucking face of the earth, and now they've installed a fucking satellite puppet here. Being a patriot, according to Republicans, has become a taboo. Because, they just want to know about the leaks. They don't fucking care about the collusion. They want to know who let the cat out of the bag about the collusion.
I lost it. Welcome back to
Yeah. Donetsk Airport. Right there. Back when it was, an airport. And God bless all the heroes who lost their lives defending it.
Alright, that's our flag upside down, covered in mud on the ground.
Yeah, they were using it to wipe their feet as they entered.
And bear in mind, Donetsk was taken over by the Russians, one of the first places that the Russians invaded and stayed. Yep. It was
and they held nothing back.
No, they didn't. And that the St. George armbands that they wear, the orange and black stripe, go back and watch the videos. Even the ones that are lying their asses off saying they weren't Russians, they weren't Russian supporters, are wearing the Russian St. George ribbon on their arms.
Yep.
The black
and so was everybody at the
stripe.
parades in Moscow. And then, conveniently enough, a whole bunch more soldiers would show up after every single one of them parades, all wearing their nicely pressed new St. George ribbons. And that's the Vice News Russian Roulette series that you can catch all that on.
Yes, please. Like, they even have one of the episodes where Simon, the reporter, actually got arrested and detained and beat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that series, we were watching that religiously. It'd be like every day I come home from work and we were scouring YouTube for the next one to see when the next episode was going to air.
So is that Islamic State right there? No, are those Chechens? No, those are Russian Spetsnaz. And that is the mayor of Donetsk.
I wish our mouse would show up.
Before the thing happened.
I wish the mouse would show up, because look at the guy that's closest to the screen.
Dnipro.
The guy on this side. The guy right here. Okay. Look right here. On his strap.
The St. George
That's
ribbon.
a St. George ribbon.
Right. The black and orange one.
Yes, I was just pointing it out.
And then we have the little T-34 in the background there. Maybe a T-38, something like that. Whenever I'm like actively into the researching the thing, I have it all down which tank is which. But you know, going backtracking and just like no. Can't get it right every time. But what's funny is this is again from another video, and this was after the few separatist protesters that were there were basically removed and replaced by these uniformed Russian troops.
They're local.
And they said, "We're local. Look at us. Look how local we are.
We were born here.
We're not intimidating the local authorities at all."
Oh, we're local. We were born here. Oh yeah, where were you born?
Right. They show them interviewed like that over and over again.
Yeah, right up the road. I was born right up the road. In that empty field.
And then again, of course, while Alex Jones was telling you that the globalists were taking over everything, or all this shit was going on, you know, Russia invading other countries, and you know, we got to stop the UN and fuck NATO. All the while, what else was happening? The new Soviet? No, Eurasian Union. Isn't that special? We have Russia, Belarus, and Kazakhstan, all doing joint military exercises. Isn't that special?
Yeah, because you know we're doing joint military exercises with NATO, so obviously they have to show their military superiority too, and do exercises.
Yep. And to you know, make sure that dead horse is thoroughly beaten, we can once again point out the terrorist weapon of choice, the AK-47. And to understand fully, you know, it's just every Muslim that has it. There's no pattern. There's no consistent support for Russia that enables somebody to have more AK-47s from them or something like that. You know, because after all, the CIA started the Mujahideen in resistance to Russia, and that same group of people supposedly became the Taliban. Right? Isn't that what happened? No, that's not what fucking happened. The Mujahideen, of which Osama bin Laden was not a member, Mullah Omar was, he then changed sides. See, they had a political party that the CIA helped get into office in Afghanistan. Okay? And they told the Russians to leave. The Russians left. It wasn't going well for them at that point. But this political party that the Americans supported was then kicked the fuck out via a violent uprising. Okay? You know, kind of like what happened in Ukraine. So you've been bullshitted again into thinking that the CIA, and it more leans into that category of pointing blame at our own government for 9/11. Because, you know, after all, the CIA and the Taliban, right? No, actually, it's been Russia and the Taliban this whole fucking time. But, like I said, we don't want to provoke Russia, do we? That's what it's been all along. We've just been avoiding provoking a war that would put us outnumbered 10-1. But if that makes less sense to you than some global conspiracy in which all these fucking rich people just for some reason cooperate, okay, and this whole East versus West thing never existed, the Mongolian horde never existed, America doesn't even exist because, you know, a nation of refugees was never founded while fleeing the Mongolian horde. So why the fuck would America even exist, right? That must be what y'all think. Russia could not possibly be, you know, invading Ukraine, supporting terrorism. Nothing like that. Because, you know, they just got like just enough troops to make that parade in Moscow, right? And that's all the troops they have. What, like, serious, what the fuck is it that you fucking morons fucking think? It's fucking annoying. Yet, you know, again, I'm the one sitting here. We're down to 5 people in the live broadcast. You get unique information from, let's face it, a pretty amusing weirdo. But I don't get shit. My ad revenue is now at $37 a month and dropping. $37 a month.
Yeah, my YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it was 46 last week. Now it's down to 37.
That's what I said. And dropping. Yeah, I mean, if you don't understand that the universe was created by a weirdo, you haven't been walking around paying much attention.
You have not met the platypus yet, have you?
Yes. Once again, you're sitting inappropriately.
This chair hurts my stomach.
Oh, why don't you bring a pillow or something? We got the cyanotic pillow back pillow thing.
Because that would make too much sense, and it's not really the back part; it's the butt part. But
okay.
It's where that nerve goes under.
All right. I understand.
Sorry for the inappropriate sitting.
So, yeah. All the flat Earth channels, not one of them came up with one possibility that Russia was, you know, the biggest player in the space program, so maybe they had most to do with it. All these conspiracies about 9/11, about aliens, about all this different shit, not one of them is Russia anything but a hero to the people.
Yay for the platypus.
They're all fucking lying to you. I've been trying to tell you the truth, that you need to save your own life. But here we are. The most underrated channel on YouTube. What do y'all think? Y'all think this is the most underrated channel on YouTube? I've had people tell me I was the funniest fucker in Flat Earth. Cool. You know, I try to tell a joke every few months or so. I've had people tell me I'm the best at this. Tell me I'm the best at that as far as this channel goes. Okay, this channel is, you know, it does exactly what I fucking say it does. I don't read scripts. I'm not promoting anybody else's agenda. I'm definitely not a shill. You can tell by how broke I am. Don't have a fancy microphone. I got a $20 webcam I got off of eBay.
Was that where we got it from?
Yep. eBay. Webcam. Look, I even got the little headset for it. Ooh, fancy shit. Look at that. Look at that. Modern technology from 15 years ago. Still in box. Hey, I got a good deal on it. Russia. The most underrated channel on YouTube is going to call it a day for the broadcast. Please, if you have any respect or compassion for your fellow human beings and don't want them all to die horribly or be enslaved, copy the link, join a forum, join a group, Facebook, internet, anywhere, okay, Flat Earth, whatever. Paste the links to these videos. Oh. Find your favorite one. Find the one that you think is the most important for people to know. And try to tell them why you think that. Post the link there.
Also, we talked about earlier before we were interrupted on the original broadcast that with YouTube suppressing the questions, you can submit any questions to our Facebook channel page or Facebook page and
Twitter.
Twitter. Yes, Twitter. Find the Lost Begotten on Twitter. Find the Lost Begotten on Facebook. He's always on Twitter. I'm always on Facebook. So we will
and
start compiling them.
Again, if you'd like to make a personal contribution to the channel, we didn't ask for any contributions up until just recently when we realized we had to declare bankruptcy, and we're like kind of overhead when it comes to all of our bills, it seems.
We got another.
So we're actually asking for contributions from our longer time viewers, or for anybody who isn't struggling. If you're struggling in any way, please don't send us money. But if you have some extra money and you're one of those types of people that supports the channels that you like to watch, I would really appreciate your support. And
thank you for the donation we got this morning.
Yes,
I woke up to
thank
that.
you very much. We have it set as the channel name. If you want to, use that PAL, use your PAL that pays people. And you know how you say oh gee, it's not a boy, oh gee, it's a girl, oh gee, boy, gee, with like where letters come from. Little box and the person with the little flag on it. That word. Channel name. G. Yeah. Okay.
And also, we're still running our GoFundMe page to help out the people that have been conned for out of their
put links
money.
in descriptions of any of these videos whenever you get a chance. And please, anybody who hasn't cruised the channel yet, go ahead and look. You can tell people about the way I've warned people for however long I've been warning them. I don't even know anymore. And if somebody knows about the little dossier with the golden showers, you might want to maybe mention the horde theory to them. Because the last horde, the horde that this country basically was founded because of, we were the refugees back then. That was called the Golden Horde. Not a bunch of nice guys. And if you see, that territory right here looks kind of familiar. Isn't that Moldova right there? And then, of course, East Ukraine. Isn't that special? I think that's special. That's very special. Very, very special. So anyways, thanks for watching, everybody.
I'll have to edit the description. I can't do it while we're live.
Oh, yeah, later on.
I didn't know that.
Okay. We appreciate you joining us. Appreciate your questions and comments. And we'll see you all at 11 p.m. Ish. Please click the like button if you haven't already. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If you are a subscriber, you might want to check your subscription. Go ahead and check your likes too, because they seem to disappear for no reason. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.